There is a moment right before sleep when the mind is open and unguarded. Thoughts are softer. The noise of the day begins to fade. In that space, the right words can shape the world you wake into. These are not ordinary words. They come from a tradition older than memory, refined by those who understood the hidden currents between mind and universe. Spoken with intention, they can align your inner state with the unseen patterns that guide your life. Tonight, you will learn 3 lines, simple to say, but in their simplicity lies a deep power, one that can steady your mind, sharpen your awareness, and make you more attuned to the quiet messages life is sending you. For years, I have studied and lived the teachings of the Shaolin Temple, where discipline is not a chain but a key, where the smallest ritual, done with pure attention, can unlock new levels of clarity and strength. These 3 lines are such a ritual. They are not superstition. They are not magic tricks. They are a form of mental training that works in the most silent hours, when your conscious guard is down and your deeper mind is listening. You will hear the origins behind them, the reason they work, and how to speak them so they take root. By the end of this video, you will understand why the mind before sleep is the most fertile ground for transformation and how to use it wisely. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If you seek inner mastery, presence, and the kind of discipline that shapes destiny, this is your place. Subscribe now and let's walk this path together. Tonight the universe is already leaning in to listen. Will you speak? The mind is like a river after heavy rain, muddy, restless, full of debris. Left alone, it will take days to clear. But if you guide its flow with steady hands, the water settles faster, the depth becomes visible. This is the purpose of a ritual, not to impress the heavens, but to clear the waters within. At the Shaolin Temple, we do not see discipline as a chain that binds freedom. Discipline is the structure that makes freedom possible. A bow before entering the training hall, the first stance of the morning, the closing breath at night. Each act is simple, but when repeated, day after day, they become the pillars that hold the mind steady. Repeating 3 lines before you sleep works in the same way. The words are not complicated. They don't need to be. Their power comes from your willingness to return to them each night without fail. In this repetition, the body knows what comes next. The breath slows and the mind begins to recognize this as a signal. Now we rest, now we release. Without discipline, the mind becomes a wild horse, pulling in every direction. With discipline, the same force that once scattered your energy becomes the very power that carries you forward. The Shaolin masters of old understood this. They trained not only in combat but in stillness. A fighter who cannot still his mind will always tire before the one who can. So when you speak those 3 lines before sleep, do so with the same respect as a monk entering the hall. You are not merely ending the day, you are preparing the ground for the next. The ritual is the gate, the discipline is the key, and beyond it lies a freedom no restlessness can touch. There is a space between thoughts where everything becomes still, no past pulling at you, no future rushing in, only this breath, only this moment. The Shaolin call this state no mind. It is not emptiness in the way most people fear. It is not the absence of life, it is life, without the noise. To reach it, you cannot force the mind into silence. Force only creates more resistance. Instead, you guide it the way a master guides a student, firm but patient. The mind will try to hold on. It clings to stories, memories, problems waiting to be solved. No mind begins when you loosen that grip, when you allow thoughts to pass like clouds instead of cages. This is where the 3 lines before sleep find their true purpose. Spoken with calm awareness, they become a soft lantern in the dark, drawing you away from the tangle of the day. Each line is an anchor, but it is also a release. You land in the present, then you let go again. The old masters understood this rhythm well. In training, they would flow from intense motion to absolute stillness, from the strike to the pause. It was never about the move alone. It was about the mind behind it. When the mind is clear, every action becomes precise. When the mind is caught, even the strongest body falters. At night, just before sleep, you are standing on the threshold of 2 worlds. The words you speak can carry you into rest heavy with thought, or into a deeper silence where the body restores and the spirit steadies. No mind is the second path. It is the place where discipline leads you not to control everything, but to let everything go. A bamboo stalk stands tall because it is both strong and flexible. Too rigid, and it snaps in the wind. Too soft, and it bends to the ground, never rising again. The mind is no different. Structure gives it shape. But if that structure becomes a cage, the spirit withers. Freedom gives it space. But if that space has no anchor, focus dissolves. In the old monasteries, life followed a rhythm. Morning bells, training, meditation, study. Every hour had a purpose. Yet within that order, there was room for stillness, for silence, for the natural ebb and flow of the heart. This was not control for the sake of control. It was a living balance, adjusted like the strings of a lute. Too tight, and the note becomes harsh. Too loose, and no sound comes at all. Many people lean too far in one direction. They either cling to rules so tightly that every step feels heavy, or they drift in endless freedom until the days blur and nothing deepens. Mastery lives in the space between these extremes. It is a freedom that rests upon steady practice, a life where habits hold you up, not hold you down. When you repeat the 3 lines before sleep, you are practicing this balance. The ritual is your structure, your steady rhythm, but the way you enter it, the calm breath, the open awareness, that is your freedom. You follow the form, yet you do not become trapped by it. The old masters would say, form is the boat, freedom is the shore. Without the boat, you cannot cross. Without the shore, you have nowhere to land. The art is in knowing how to sail between them, neither drifting aimlessly nor locking yourself in the harbor. In the old teachings, there are 7 qualities that blossom when the mind is tended with care. They are like the pillars of a quiet temple: mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. Each one supports the others. Together, they form the ground on which true mastery stands. Tranquility softens the restlessness of the heart. Investigation keeps the mind awake, curious, and sharp. Energy fuels the journey when discipline feels heavy. Joy reminds you that the path is not only about struggle, it is also about lightness. Concentration gathers your focus into a single steady flame, and equanimity allows you to meet both success and setback with the same calm face. These qualities are not forced into being. They grow the way a garden grows, quietly, naturally, through small and consistent tending. This is where the 3 lines before sleep become more than words. They are seeds you plant each night in the soil of your mind. Spoken with attention, they prepare the ground for these qualities to take root. Over time, the repetition creates a rhythm. Your mind begins to expect the stillness. Your breath deepens. You move from the surface thoughts into something steadier, something unshaken. Just as a farmer knows that seeds need darkness before they sprout, you too understand that the quiet before sleep is fertile ground. The old masters knew that the state you fall asleep in shapes the state you wake into. A mind resting in these 7 qualities does not start the day scattered. It rises already centered, already aligned. Night after night, the 3 lines are the gentle hand that waters these seeds until they grow strong enough to shape the whole of your life. The universe does not speak in sentences or whisper in your ear. It moves in patterns, not in human language. Those patterns reveal themselves in symbols, in the timing of events, in the way certain moments seem to line up with quiet precision. Some call this synchronicity. Others call it intuition. The name is less important than the state of mind that allows you to see it. When the mind is restless, chasing thought after thought, these patterns pass unnoticed. They are like stars hidden behind city lights, still there but unseen. When the mind becomes still, the noise fades, and what was always present becomes visible. This is not a matter of magic. Even modern psychology recognizes that a calm mind is more likely to notice subtle details, to connect threads that a distracted mind would miss. It is easy to romanticize the idea that the universe is sending you direct messages. But if you cling too tightly to this, you risk bending every event to fit your expectations. That is not clarity, that is projection. The old teachers warned against chasing signs. Instead, they taught that signs arrive naturally to the one who is ready to see them. The 3 lines you speak before sleep are not a command to the universe. They are an invitation to yourself, to be present enough to notice what is already unfolding around you. They steady the mind, create space, and sharpen awareness. In that space, the smallest detail can speak volumes. When you learn to rest in stillness, life begins to feel less random. The patterns don't force themselves upon you. You simply begin to see the quiet order that was there all along. And in that seeing, you understand that the true conversation is not out there, it begins within. There is a word in the Islamic tradition, yaqaza. It means awakening, but not the kind that happens when your eyes open in the morning. It is a waking of the heart, a moment when the layers between you and the deeper truths seem to vanish. In yaqaza, you feel the universe, life, and the divine will as a single seamless reality. There is no separation, only a sense of being fully present within something vast and alive. Such moments do not come through force. You cannot chase them or demand them. They arise when the mind is quiet, when the heart is steady, and when you are aligned in thought, word, and action. In the old Sufi circles, yaqaza was seen as a gift, but also as a responsibility. To see so clearly is to live more carefully. The 3 lines before sleep are not a shortcut to such awakening, but they can prepare the ground for it. Spoken with sincerity, they help release the noise of the day, soften the grip of the ego, and center your awareness. In this quiet state, you are more open to the subtle shifts in perception that yaqaza requires. The ancient masters, whether in the desert, the temple, or the mountain, knew that awakening is not found in grand visions alone. It can be in the smallest moments, the sound of wind at night, the stillness after a deep breath, the sudden realization that you are part of a pattern too vast to see in full. When you rest each night in that openness, the lines you speak are like a gentle knock on a door that is already half open. One night without effort, you may find yourself stepping through and seeing not parts, but the whole. Discipline on its own can feel like a hard stone, unyielding, cold. A quiet mind without direction can drift like a leaf on water. Structure without freedom can suffocate, while freedom without roots can scatter into nothing. True mastery comes when these elements are woven together, each strengthening the other. When you repeat the 3 lines before sleep, you are not performing a trick. You are standing in a space shaped by all these threads: discipline to keep you steady, stillness to keep you clear, structure to hold you, freedom to let you breathe, inner qualities to guide you, and awareness that keeps you awake to what is unfolding. The old teachers compared this to tending a fire. Too much wood and the flames choke, too little and they fade. You must learn how to feed it, sometimes with fuel, sometimes with air, sometimes with nothing but patience. The fire you tend here is the state of your own mind. This readiness is what gives the 3 lines their power. Spoken without it, they are just sounds in the air. Spoken from within it, they become a signal to the deepest parts of you, a reminder of where you are and where you wish to stand. In the Shaolin halls, in Sufi gatherings, in the still monasteries of the mountains, the pattern is the same. Words matter, but the space you carry inside matters more. That space is built over time through practice that shapes not only what you do, but who you become. So, when you speak the lines, know that you are not trying to make something happen. You are simply arriving at the place where it can. That is not magic, that is readiness, and readiness changes everything. Not all keys are heavy or made of metal. Some are small enough to carry in the breath. The 3 lines you are about to learn are like that, light, unassuming, yet able to open a door that has been waiting within you for years. They do not demand belief. They do not need you to strain or force. Their strength lies in their simplicity. Each line is clear, uncluttered, leaving space for your own mind to step inside and find its meaning. This space is important. In the old teachings, too many words crowd the heart. Too much explanation dulls the edge of truth. The most enduring wisdom has always been the kind that allows you to meet it halfway. Think of them as a nightly key. When used once, you may not notice much, But night after night, the lock begins to loosen, the hinges begin to turn. You will find yourself moving through that door into a place of greater quiet, a place where your thoughts no longer spill endlessly into the dark. The masters of old understood the value of the subtle. A single brushstroke could carry the spirit of a mountain. A single note could hold the weight of a lifetime. These lines are of the same nature, gentle in delivery, powerful in effect. They are intentional, shaped to align the heart, the mind, and the breath. Yet they remain open-ended, never closing you inside a single meaning. One night they may bring you peace, another, clarity, another, a quiet strength you didn't know you carried. Soon, you will speak them. And when you do, know that you are holding a key, not to change the world outside you, but to open the deeper rooms within. Let the words rest inside you like stones at the bottom of a clear pond. No need to turn them over or search for hidden meanings. Just let them be. Breathe and notice how the ripples in your mind begin to fade. This is the heart of the practice. Not forcing change, but creating the space where change can happen naturally. Each night these lines are an invitation to return to yourself, to quiet the noise, to strengthen the qualities that carry you through the day with steadiness and grace. In time you will see that the shift is not only in the moments before sleep, it will begin to appear in the way you meet the morning, in the way you respond to challenges, in the way you move through the world without being pulled apart by it. The lesson is simple. When you tend to the state of your mind at night, you shape the state of your life in the day. The 3 lines are only the beginning. The real work and the real gift is the presence you carry forward. Thank you for walking this path with me. May your nights be quiet, your mornings clear, and your steps guided by awareness. If you found value in this teaching, support this journey by liking this video and subscribing to Shaolin Soulfire. Until we meet again, may your mind be still and your heart be steady.